Well, for tonight's In Focus, we spotlight a local artist who makes not-so-typical stuffed animals. Jamil Doneth shows us how these handmade creature crafts come to life.
Gonna have cute little pink hair.
For Shanna Olsen, when she sees a creature in her mind, she creates it. This artist takes the monsters in her head and makes them into stuffed creature plushies.
I was just sketching and had this monster idea come to my head, and then decided I was gonna go ahead and try and sew one up.
Olsen is finishing up an art degree, and while she studies many types of art forms, she struggled with 3D art until she took a sculpture class.
I think the sculpture class really helped me learn how to kind of piece things together.
However, she didn't learn how to sew at school. That skill she picked up from her crafty mother.
I learned how to sew a little in home ec, not very much, but my mom's she sews all the time.
Why does it have one too?
But the biggest contributor to her art, her very own little monster, her 6-year-old daughter, Hallie.
You look like you're throwing a fit. Interacting with her, it's kind of makes me feel like I'm a kid again.
When Olsen is creating her creature plushies, she uses pretty much everything that she has and says there's no such thing as mistakes. She uses all of her scraps and her embroidery thread, and once she's all finished, you get something looking a little bit like this.
I don't think I've had to recut anything because I don't want to waste it. So I find a way to make it work.
Olsen does everything off the top of her head. She doesn't sketch, stencil, measure, or plan. Once she's got an idea, it's snip, sew, and stuff.
If I sit down and actually do it from start to finish, it takes me probably about 2.5 hours.
While the process is quick and spontaneous, it's not done without thought. This handmade artist crafts each creature with its own story.
They become like a little orphan or something, like a little story that goes along with them.
So there's nothing Olsen would rather be doing than making little monsters, and she's got the craft of creating cuddly creatures down to an art. For this week's In Focus, Jamil Doneth, Lakeland News.
And Olsen had her first solo show tonight for Bemidji's first Friday Art Walk.